Hi everyone and welcome to Fresh from My Garden. These are a few Mexican petunias from our garden, and these are plants that I had never planted in my garden. So they are self-seeded plants and they are growing in different parts of our garden, and they have these beautiful pink flowers and they are growing really bushy as a ground cover in between our lawn in several parts of our garden. So, in today's video, I'm going to share a few tips on caring for Mexican petunias. They are also known as wild petunias and they can be easily grown in the garden. So, as we walk through our lawn in the south side of our garden, we have these Mexican petunia plants in several spots and they are growing in the ground. And they have recently started flowering and they have these beautiful pink flowers that resemble petunias. Mexican petunias come in a few different colors. We have the pink and the purple, and they also come in shades of white. Now, these are growing at the base of another bigger plant that I have in the garden, and they are surrounding the base of the plant and they're growing really bushy. So, the spot in which they are growing is partially shaded where it receives some filtered sunlight. So, as we walk through the garden and look around, most of the places they are growing at the base of another plant, surrounding the base of that plant and creating a little ground cover around several plants in the garden. So they have these beautiful pink, and also some plants have purple flowers. Though it is named petunia, the leaves of the Mexican petunia plants are different from the regular petunia that we grow in hanging baskets. Now, this particular plant is in a more sunny spot, but these plants can grow in full sun to partial shade, but they prefer to be grown in a spot where they receive some filtered sunlight during the afternoon time. So during the mornings, it can receive full sunlight but a little partial shade during the afternoon time. Now, right at the base of our hibiscus tree, where it can receive some filtered sunlight, we have another Mexican petunia plant that is growing and also has started to bloom. Mexican petunia is a very easy to grow plant, and as I had mentioned in the beginning of the video, these are self-seeded plants and I have not planted these in the garden. And I have another one growing in containers, but all of these plants have now started going to seed. These are the purple variety or the blue variety of Mexican petunias that are growing in a container, and these plants can easily be grown from seed. So as you can see, there are a lot of seed pods, and once you break up these dried pods you get a lot of seeds from which we can grow more plants. Many of these seed pods dry up and they fall back into the container, and that's how we have so many plants that are filling this entire container. And these are the flowers that have been growing on these plants. This container is in a more partially shaded area and doesn't receive too much direct sunlight and just receives some filtered sunlight during the day. Since these plants have gone to seed and there are a lot of seed pods in these plants, I'm saving some of them so that I can grow them in few other parts of my garden where I don't have these plants growing. And they look really beautiful with the green foliage and these beautiful flowers. We have never fertilized this plant in particular, but it receives the fertilizer as we fertilize other plants in the garden, and due to which they are growing really well. and producing a lot of beautiful flowers in bunches. So this is a very easy to grow plant, and you might have seen this growing in community gardens because it's a very low maintenance plant and doesn't need much care. These plants don't grow very tall, so they can be used as ground cover and borders in parks and community gardens. So I hope you liked a view of the beautiful Mexican petunias from our garden. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe so that we can share more gardening videos with you. Thanks for watching Fresh from my garden.